Welcome to today's podcast of Everyone Has the Freedom to Choose. This is Deb King. Join us for today's Cornerstone Conversation, the desire of our heart. Over the years, I would hear people say, I am praying for this or that because God says He will give us the desire of our hearts. But they were taking God's word out of context, using only part of the sentence. The full scripture verse is, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. John 15, verse 7, the English Standard Version. When we abide, rest, and His Word abides in us, we learn of Him, who He is, what He loves, how He lived, and what He values. We will be changed. Our perspective will begin to be shaped through God's lens rather than our own. We will see a much richer, textured, full, exciting, satisfying, and meaningful plan God has for our lives. I always considered that when we were closely connected to God, we would want to follow Jesus' example. Although there's truth in that, I now have a more complete understanding. When we faced a certain circumstance, He would give us what we needed at the time. If we needed courage, we could ask, and He would provide courage to rise in us. I remember a time years ago when we had lots of foster kids, our kids, and working with alcoholics and their families. Life was busy and demanding love, grace, wisdom, and more grace. This is an understatement. I felt there was help and hope for all these people, but what about me and my desires? It was a beautiful spring day, windows were open, and a friend was coming over for coffee. I was busy stirring my pity pot in the kitchen and started to yell at God, but what about me? I'm tired of being kind. I'm tired of being the strong one. I'm tired of being the one to love. I'm tired of caring for others when I'm too tired to think. I'm tired, and that list went on for a few minutes. I ran out of what I was tired of and was quiet for a moment. Then God, in that still small voice, said to my heart, didn't you ask me to give you grace when you needed to be kind and you didn't have it in you to be graceful? And I gave you more grace than you even hoped for? Well, yes, was my reply. And didn't you ask me to give you strength in that circumstance and I provided the strength you needed? Well, yes. When you were exhausted but still needed to give more to that person, didn't I give you a new wind in your spirit? Yes, was my reply again. Didn't you ask me to give you love for that child when you couldn't find the love needed? And didn't I give you a love and understanding beyond your comprehension? Yes, again was my reply. Then what do you need or want that I haven't provided? I can't think of anything, I said. There was a pause and finally a knock at the door. My friend, who was there for me, she said she waited in the car to be sure God didn't strike my house with lightning. I laughed, but this is what was true. God could handle my pity party. He was clear that when I went to Him each time with the desire of my heart, but no capacity within me, He heard me, answered me, and gave me the desire of my heart every time. I lacked nothing. I got to be a conduit of His grace, love, and strength, providing hope to those I touched. I didn't have it, but He did. I was grateful. A few years ago, Priscilla Schreier was teaching on the very topic and shed a better light on the desire of our heart. God, fill my heart with your desires for my life. When John said, I will give you the desires of your heart, it means God will fill your hearts with His desires for your life, and the things we desire in this world will diminish. As we get to know Him, we open ourselves to His desires for our life as we become a reflection of Him in the world. I found myself so excited to understand that it was not just me who considers what I want. I can ask God to fill me with His specific desires for my heart, ones He planned long before I was knit within my mother's womb. It became such an adventure to look for His desires in my life. When we ask anything according to His will, He hears us, and He will grant us our request, as John tells us. And this is the confidence that we have toward Him, that if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. And if we know that He hears us in whatever we ask, we know that we have the request that we have asked of Him. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. 1 John 5 verses 14 and 15, the English Standard Version. God's perspective is so much better than we can imagine. Trusting His character and love gives us freedom to look for the treasure He has placed in our hearts and find joy in the midst of challenge, hope in the midst of pain, peace and rest in the valleys, grace on the mountaintops, and love when we are willing to share our experience, strength, and hope with others. When we are willing to be the conduit through which God pours out His love and grace, it becomes compelling to continue asking God to fill us with His desires for our hearts. For me, that is when, regardless of the circumstance, I find the most incredible journey of faith, dependency, trust, and immeasurable joy. Having the privilege of being a part of someone's journey where God brings healing and hope is priceless. It is not that God doesn't provide for what we would like or want in our lives. It is that He is not limited to what we desire in this world. His perspective is that we are sojourners here, and our home is in heaven. We have work to do while we are here, and it is so gratifying to know that God has planted treasures in our hearts for us to unearth and implement in our lives. I am grateful for the greater understanding of the desires of our hearts. Thanks for listening and being a part of our conversation. You are welcome to pass it on. You can find us at www.debaking.com.